Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to the 557 News. I'm your anchor, Jake Jackson. Our main story tonight: businesses will have a harder time communicating with you now. If they want to send you an email asking if you want a second pet rock, or they want to text you the latest and greatest in memes, they'll have to think twice. I'll let my co-anchor, Jack Jackson, explain it all while I delete everything in my spam folder. That's right, Jake. Thanks to castle legislation, businesses have to be more discreet about who they contact and how they contact their customers. This legislation impacts any business in any sector that wishes to communicate with its customers by sending messages to electronic addresses. This can mean any email account, text messaging account, phone account, or similar accounts. The reason behind this legislation is to protect Canadians from spam. Spam is a canned meat product originally introduced in 1937 by Hormel Foods Corporation. But more importantly to what we're talking about, spam refers to undesirable electronic messages. These could simply be to sell you an unrequested product or service, or tell you that the CRA is after you for $10,000 unless you give your credit card info right away. Now when businesses send any electronic message, they may have to prove that they received explicit or implicit consent from that individual or business. Explicit consent is when a customer either gives you verbal or written permission to contact them and has no expiry date. Implicit consent is when a customer implies they would like to be contacted because they did something like submitted their contact info on a website. Businesses need to be wary of implicit consent because those customers can only be contacted for a certain period of time. If a customer has purchased something, their implicit consent is valid for 2 years. If a customer has submitted an inquiry, their implicit consent is only valid for 6 months. After that, it is illegal to contact them. Even before their implicit consent has expired, if they make a request to opt out, the business must stop sending communications within 10 days. Now over to Mike Michaels in the field.
Thanks, Jack. I'm here with small business owner Rob Bobson. So Rob, how do you feel about the castle legislation? Well, I can appreciate that the government wants to protect Canadians from spam, but I think that small businesses like mine are at more of a disadvantage than big companies.
And what makes you say that?
Well, as a small business owner, I don't have the same level of resources or budget to spend money on a compliant CRM system. There are CRM systems available that allow businesses to automatically record implicit consent. They can also send emails and text messages with the opt-out compliance built right into the message. All I've got is a Gmail email account and my personal cell phone. According to the legislation, I need an opt-out message on every single text message I send to customers, and my phone can't do that.
That's a good point. Is there anything else about this legislation that you don't think is right?
So the legislation allows for 2 years of communications after a customer has made a purchase. But the thing is, I sell products that last for 5 years or more. That means that every time I want to sell to a repeat customer of mine, I have to do that within 2 years when they might not even need it. After that, I'm supposed to get rid of my customer database and start all over? I think that Castle should be more focused on real spam rather than making it more difficult for certain businesses like mine to make a profit and a living.
Thanks, Rob. Now over to you, Jake.
What?
Thank you, Mike. Great reporting as per usual. Now let's go over to Tim Thompson for our weekly spam forecast.
Thanks, Jake, and might I say, you have an excellent mustache. As you can see, we've got a medium current of Caribbean vacations making its way through the Montreal 514 area code, moving its way over to the GTA and up into the north. They'll be trying to contact 647 and 705 area codes. On the western front, we've got some phony CRA calls making its way through the Edmonton area and then along to the 204 Manitoba area code. We can expect to see these by Wednesday.
Back to you, Jake. Thanks for watching, and please don't unsubscribe or else we won't be able to send you any more quality news reporting. You stay classy, Georgia College.